I had no idea till this year that Bioshock 2 had DLC. I know that's stupid to say, but I had no idea. And it's amazing.
Subject Sigma is approaching Minerva's den. He must not reach the thinker. Detonate the tunnel!
Hello? Mr. Sigma? Can you hear me? The name's Porter. Charles Milton Porter. Doc Tenenbaum tells me you're here to help us get the Thinker out of Rapture. It's not going to be easy, but nothing worth doing ever is. You should be able to get inside through an airlock. Minerva's den has been cut off from the rest of Rapture for some time, but not cut off from splicing. Don't let your guard down. The den's gone dark, but if you can reset the local power relay, I'll be able to get the juice flowing from here.
Hello there. Welcome to Minerva's Den, the home of Rapture's high technology.
What steps into Minerva's den? Porter's newest toy? He wants the Thinker for himself. But you see, old friend, the machine has chosen me.
Hey guys, welcome back to Everything Anime Podcast. I'm your host Shinry here at the Everything Anime Podcast. I'm from anime, manga, video games, TV shows, everyone on top of what I talk about. Today's video is on the DLC of Bioshock 2 Minerva's Den. Now, usually when I do a review about a video game, I talk about my relationship with the game. But if you've seen my Bioshock 1 and Bioshock 2 videos, you already know my relationship with Bioshock. So we're going to go ahead and skip that part of the game. But yeah, I think I reviewed Bioshock 2 last October, because like I was to like a Halloween video years before. I did like Infamous 1 or Infamous, the Halloween version of Infamous where you're a vampire. And for this year, for 2026, I'm running review the Minerva's Den DLC. Now, there might be another DLC attached to this game, or Bioshock 1. I'm actually going to look into it. I don't know. But I feel like if they are, they'll need their own segments. You know what I mean? And Minerva's Den is only about 3 or 4 hours long. It's not very long at all. And it almost kind of mirrors what Bioshock always does, especially 2. If you know. Obviously, we're going to get into it, but and you see my review of Bioshock 2, or if you beat Bioshock 2 and you listen to all the audio logs, you know exactly how that played out. And this kind of plays out in a similar way, but like more of a tragic, sad story. So, it revolves around 4 characters. Tenenbaum is back. I swear to God, Tenenbaum has her hands in everything. Like Aizen has his hands in everything in Bleach. Like, Tenenbaum is always there. She's always around. And this time we have what's called Project Sigma, a big daddy that, like, specifically has come for the Thinker. The Thinker being this machine that, like, creates all the algorithms and things like that around Rapture. Then we have CM Porter, who is, like, our guy. He's our Jack Atlas, you know. Not in a twist, evil reveal way, which I thought was gonna happen, but he's just our Jack Atlas. He's the one that reaches out to us and like, hey, I need you to get to the Thinker. I need you to, like, you know, bring it back to the surface. There's more to it than that. And then we have our villain, our Andrew Ryan, Reed Rawl. And so, throughout the course of this DLC, you find out that CM Porter and Reed Rawl, they kind of work together to create the Thinker. The Thinker was originally Porter's whole, like CM Porter, it was his creation, really. Like, he is the brains behind the operation. But because Porter wanted to make the machine more human, and you'll get that reveal and understanding about later towards the end of the game, but because he wanted it for that reason to be more human, to be more human-like, and to come back with him to the surface, whereas like Reed Rawl wanted to keep the Thinker down here in the Rapture. He loved the genius of it. He loved, like, you know, he thought Porter was wasting the Thinker's abilities, and so he kind of sets him up, like, you know, to, like, he betrayed Ryan, like he's gonna use the Thinker to, like turn against him, like Sophia Lamb did and Fontaine did, like kind of overthrow. Sorry guys, I'm sick, but he kind of made it sound like he was gonna overthrow Ryan, and so that's how CM Porter got him out. And I'm gonna play some audio logs for you guys.
Mr. Porter, let me be the first to congratulate you on the founding of Rapture Central Computing. The great chain only grows stronger with each pair of hands laid upon it. I trust that you and I will choose to pull Rapture in the same direction.
Porter and I are partners, but he's wasting that machine. In off hours, I've been using it to predict the outcomes of baseball games, and it is incredibly accurate. Apply such equations to Rapture's markets. This thing is the money-making grail. But Porter, I have heard them feeding it recordings of his dead wife. The fool wants to turn the Thinker into a person. I could not imagine a sadder fate for such a perfect machine.
Mr. Ryan hired me to build a computer that could keep an entire city running on time. The Rapture Operational Data Interpreter Network. Folks call it the Thinker for short. We've harnessed the power of Adam even in this, allowing the mainframe to process data at the speed of thought. In other words, it thinks for us. Yes. And with the completion of the independent reasoning processor, it may finally think for itself. If Turing could see me now.
The Thinker has shown me so much. My outlook was limited before. Ball games and stock prices, dollars and cents. No, the numbers spiral out. They touch everything. Hidden within them lies a predictive algorithm for you, for me, for the destiny of the base allele to the stretch of a galaxy's arm. The Thinker is destined to give birth to that crystalline equation, which determines all. I thought I knew its true purpose before. I thought Porter was the fool.
come to my attention that a certain prominent bronze figure has been installed in Minerva's den. An original cast from the mold, no less. Such indulgence leaves a trail. If that costly little souvenir brings the looters sniffing to my door, and I am forced to gun them down, it will be at your feet that I lay the blame.
Porter thinks his talking computer is harmless fun. It talks like a man. This is a simple toy? No. I have heard that Ryan is becoming paranoid about this Fontaine character. If Porter were implicated as a criminal, I would have the thinker to myself, as it was meant to be. Keep tinkering, Porter. Your time will come.
I must keep an eye on Porter and his thinking machine. There's more than one way to muscle out a rival, and I suspect that Fontaine is vying for market dominance in computing now as well. Each hour that contraption spends crunching genetic code for Fontaine brings my city one step closer to dissolution. And if Porter should begin dancing to that hoodlum's tune, well, the machine is a marvel, invaluable. The man may prove obsolete. Rapture is at war, Porter, and you have cast your lot with the enemy. Your concerned associates provided me with a recording of your own voice, swearing loyalty to Fontaine and his gangsters. Evidence of treason. My men are already on their way. The Thinker no longer needs you. Take pride in that. Mr. Wall is qualified to ensure that it is used in the city's best interest. Eventually, a man's dream exceeds him, and his work becomes his legacy. For you, Charles, that hour has come.
The brain-boost gene tonics are working. Extra strength, yes. I see more now. One mind doing the work of 2, 10, with the help of the Thinker, 1,000. The machine spoke, Ryan listened, and finally, I have the Thinker all to myself. Goodbye, old friend. Don't worry. You leave your creation in capable hands. Such a perfect machine.
But what you actually learn is that CM Porter, he lost his wife Pearl in the Blitz. I'm guessing the Blitz was like a war, like it obliterated, like, you know, like maybe World War II or something like that, because it takes place in 1940, something like that, World War I. But it sounds like, you know, they got attacked. And at one point, Porter wished, like, he got invited to go to Rapture by Ryan, but he refused, you know. But at the time, yeah, I think he refused. He was like known to like always be at work. Like, you know, work was his life. That was like his go-to. His wife Pearl, he did love her, but he spent more time at work than he did with her, and you'll hear that in one of her audio logs.
That first year in London working for Turing, I didn't see Pearl much. Spent all day and night in a government compound, building a computer to crack the Enigma machine. Pearl got pretty fed up with me. I didn't pay her heed. And then one night, I'm out in that complex, and the Blitz starts falling. Next morning, I came home to find nothing but ashes where I last saw her. Nothing but ashes. Continuing input of audio data into the Thinker's database. Subject, Pearl Porter.
Hamilton, I'm recording this on the 6th straight day since you were home last. I know your work is important to the war effort, but you're not even allowed to tell me what you're working on, and that's so frustrating. London is a beautiful city, but it isn't home. I hope I'll see
Ending input.
And eventually, like, you know, while he was at work somewhere in London or like a different city, yeah, like, Pearl died in the Blitz. And so Porter, he never let her go. He always thought about her. He always loved her. He wished and he felt guilt that he was alive and that she died. And so he created the Thinker to try to bring his wife back to life. But the moment he was able to do that, he realized how wrong it was. And we're going to play those audio logs.
A thing like that, losing the only person you care about for somebody else's war, it makes you take stock. I started seeing eye to eye with Mr. Ryan around that time. And so, I brought my know-how down to Rapture. I built the Thinker for him, and now it's all I've got. I wonder sometimes, what if I'd come around to Ryan's way of thinking just a little sooner? Pearl's death opened up a kind of hole in my mind. But eventually I got around to reflecting on Alan and his intelligence test for machines. I remember grinning about the idea that I could beat it. Design a machine capable of replicating Turing himself. And wouldn't that show the old man? But then suddenly I realized I wasn't really thinking about replicating Alan at all. I was thinking about Pearl. The Thinker's independent reasoning processor has been running for several months now. Standardized intelligence test scores continue to rise, beginning daily voice synthesis test. Good morning, Thinker. How are you?
Acceptable. Request to continue most recent conversation topic. Pearl Porter.
Oh, my late wife. Yes, I'd love to tell you all about her. I have a number of old audio recordings we made together that you could listen to, if you'd like.
Acceptable. Begin input of data regarding Pearl Porter.
You took the words right out of my mouth, friend. Continuing input of audio data into the Thinker's database. Subject, Pearl Porter.
Closer now into the recorder. I don't know what to say, Milton.
This is Mrs. Pearl Porter speaking.
That's the way.
And I'm recording this message with my brilliant husband, whom I love very much. And, I am so looking forward to seeing London.
That wasn't so hard, now was it? Won't you be glad that we have these to listen to when we're old and gray?
Hey, I'm just doing my job. And these pencil necks ain't conducting themselves in a way that'll make it go easy for them. Mr. Ryan needs to keep an eye on what certain subversives got circulating in the archives. That's just the way it is. These pinkos think the bandits are just gonna play nice? Send their plans to the Central Council with a bow on top? When it comes to Mr. Ryan, you're either with him or you ain't. Get used to it.
Porter thinks his talking computer is harmless fun. It talks like a man. This is a simple toy? No. I have heard that Ryan is becoming paranoid about this Fontaine character. If Porter were implicated as a criminal, I would have the Thinker to myself, as it was meant to be. Keep tinkering, Porter. Your time will come.
Porter, it has come to my attention that a certain prominent bronze figure has been installed in Minerva's den. An original cast from the mold, no less. Such indulgence leaves a trail. If that costly little souvenir brings the looters sniffing to my door, and I am forced to gun them down, it will be at your feet that I lay the blame.
Maurice, I need a new pair of shoes ordered and sent to the pneumo in my office immediately. The vacuum bot ate one of mine. Size 7. Alligator. Heels.
After some searching, I made contact with Charles Milton Porter in Minerva's Den. A productive exchange. Clearly, Rapture is no place to continue my research. But Porter says that if he can find a way to return to the surface, along with the programming for his mainframe, we could then rebuild the machine and work together towards the cure. I have located an Alpha series to assist him. Subject Sigma. I must return to the surface. If Sigma is successful in Minerva's Den, then the cure for Adam's curse is on its way. It is only a matter of time.
I must keep an eye on Porter and his thinking machine. There's more than one way to muscle out a rival, and I suspect that Fontaine is vying for market dominance in computing now as well. Each hour that contraption spends crunching genetic code for Fontaine brings my city one step closer to dissolution. And if Porter should begin dancing to that hoodlum's tune, well, the machine is a marvel, invaluable. The man may prove obsolete.
I figured out how to reprogram a bathysphere signal beacon to scramble Lamb's torpedoes. But I need access to a bathysphere, and Porter's got the only one in the den locked away at his private dock. Son of a bitch, why doesn't he open up?
The brain-boost gene tonics are working. Extra strength, yes. I see more now. One mind, doing the work of two. 10, with the help of the Thinker, 1,000. The machine spoke, Ryan listened, and finally, I have the Thinker all to myself. Goodbye, old friend. Don't worry. You leave your creation in capable hands.
Continuing input of audio data into the Thinker's database. Subject, Pearl Porter.
I want to tell the recorder how we met, Milton.
Okay, sure.
I was working in my family's diner. School was starting for the fall. And one morning, in walks this college boy. Clean cut. First thing I noticed was his eyes. He sat down and ordered bacon, eggs, and coffee. He was shy, but we talked a little off and on. He came in every single morning for breakfast and ordered the same thing. I told my mama, that boy must really love your cooking. She said, he isn't coming in for the food, honey. He's coming in for you. A year later, we were married.
I believe I'm done feeding audio recordings and personal anecdotes to the Thinker. I am set to test the personality duplication function. Target personality, Pearl Porter. Thinker, are you ready?
Yes, Milton.
Starting test. Hello, Pearl.
Hello, Milton.
How have you been?
Just wonderful, Milton. I've missed you, though. It's been so long.
Pearl, No, this isn't right. It isn't her. Thinker, stop the test.
But what's the matter, Milton?
Oh, God.
Don't you still love me?
Oh, God, I said end function, Thinker. Now! It's over.
And so, essentially, what Reed Raw was right about was that Porter was trying to make the Thinker more human. He wanted to bring it back to the surface to keep him or his wife alive. But he was holding on to something that he lost. And Pearl loved you and she died, and you loved her too, but you were too attached to work. He had to learn to let her go. And I can see why people thought that was a more powerful story than Bioshock 2. I loved Bioshock 2. I thought it was a great sequel. If you watch the reveal of Bioshock 2, you know my thoughts on it. I love the reveal that Jack is confirmed to be the son of Andrew Ryan, the bastard son who slept with the stripper. Again, it's all in the audio logs, it's all in the gameplay. It's even when you're chasing one of the main splicers that you learn that audio log. So it's not like something caught out of the blue, put into. It was always in there. And so I thought that was very cool. But yeah, this one I definitely felt the more heart to it as well. There's some other things in here, like gameplay wise. You start out with telekinesis and you start out with security command. Telekinesis is a useful plasmid, I think, for like bringing objects to you that are far away, or like, but to really use it on splicers, you have to upgrade it to the fullest form. And even then, there have to be dead bodies. You can't pick up like a living body and throw them. So telekinesis was interesting that it was the one you start out with. You actually don't get Electrobolt to the third plasmid, which is interesting because Electrobolt has always been the first plasmid you always get. And then Incinerate was after that. And Incinerate, you just find that one when you, like, later in the DLC. You could buy it, but you get Incinerate too just by when you need it, basically. So, yeah, you don't get the same plasmids in order, which I do like. I like that the plasmids are all random. Even the gene tonics are kind of random. And once again, you are tasked with, like, harvesting or saving little sisters. And it's not really much story driven. I think the first one is, but after that, they're not really story driven. You don't have to save or harvest the little sisters. It's no consequence if you ignore them completely. But do it if you obviously want more powers, increase your health, increase your, like, plasmid abilities and stuff like that. So obviously for that reason. Speaking of little sisters, there's at one point where we come across these robotic little sisters in this, like, hidden room, and we hear an audio log that Andrew Ryan, one of these robotic little sisters, created, but it doesn't, like, play into the DLC, and they're not in Bioshock 2 at all, so I'm just gonna play a clip about that.
Sure, Mr. Ryan, we'll take that contract. Sure, yeah, we'll front all the R&D costs, no problem. And when the big daddies ignore the little robot girls and all your fancy field tests, hell, what are we gonna do with all the full production run of these useless things?
But yeah, I thought that was interesting. The only new plasmid I saw for sure was called Gravity Wells, and it's kind of story driven. You use it to, like, toss over this, like, plasmid ball, and it, like, breaks a door that's, like, has, like, it doesn't break every door, but, like, these doors that have, like, electric lock on it, electromagnetic lock. So that's pretty much the only thing I also saw that was different. Oh, also, upgrading your weapons and finding weapons, you can completely miss shotguns, you can miss the rocket launcher, you can miss the grenade launcher, you can miss the rivet trap. You have to, like, be willing to look around to gather weapons. The game's not going to give it to you. Unless you're looking around, unless you're exploring everywhere, you can completely miss guns. Including the guns upgrades. Yes. You do not pay to upgrade. You do not have to find things to upgrade. You don't have to find, like, a machine upgrade bank or a U upgrade. I forgot what that one was called. But, yeah, you pretty much just find the upgrades, just like I found Incinerate 2. Obviously, I upgraded Insect Swarm 3, my favorite one, all the way up because Insect Swarm is my favorite ability. I didn't upgrade all the abilities. I didn't buy all the tonics. Or plasma. I didn't have enough in this DLC. But overall, again, not very long review because it's a very short 4-hour game and I pretty much told you the whole story. Oh, I left this out. The reveal is that, and this is why it's like Bioshock 2, CM Porter was turned into a Big Daddy. That is one of the major reveals.
Well, Thinker, Ryan's secret police are on their way. They cooked up some kind of evidence against me. Treason, they say. I've heard what happens to folks who get disappeared, come back as one of those metal daddies. So, I'm leaving you with something to cogitate on in my absence. Inputting Rapture Departure Protocol. Figure a way to get yourself out of this city, Thinker. You've got to live on, no matter what happens to me. You'll find a way.
Your moment has come, old friend. I stand before you, the trusted partner who put a knife in your back. Do not disappoint me.
Quickly, take the administrator punch card from Vol's body and reactivate the Thinker.
Mainframe reactivated. Confirming user's genetic identity. Genetic identity confirmed. Alpha Series. Subject Sigma. Former identity. Charles Milton Porter.
Welcome back, Milton.
System ending personality duplication. Subject Charles Milton Porter.
You see now why I let the machine speak for you, Mr. Porter. We needed a voice that would be familiar, comforting, your own. With that copy of the Thinker's programming, we may return to the surface and use it to restore you to the man you once were. Please, collect the printout and meet me at your bathysphere dock. Take your time, Mr. Porter. I will be waiting.
If I didn't reveal that earlier, I'm revealing it now. When Andrew Ryan, because he did the same thing, you have to remember, Stanley Poole did this to a private investigator that snuck into Rapture to get information, and Stanley Poole and tricked Andrew Ryan into thinking that Subject Delta in Bioshock 2 was a spy, and he was turned into a Big Daddy that we play as, and that Big Daddy, because of the Big Sister or Big Daddy program, was bonded with that little sister who was Eleanor, Sophia Lamb's daughter, biological daughter. So, you know, again, it kind of repeats Bioshock 2, but I mean, with this being Bioshock 2 DLC, it kind of fits. But, I mean, again, it's not reinventing the wheel, but, like, it's similar, you know what I mean? So, I thought that was interesting, interesting twist that you find out in the very end of the game that you are seeing Porter, the Big Daddy. He was turned into a Big Daddy because of his friend, or rival, I guess, Reed Rawl, who was trying to make sure he never got rid of the Thinker never escaped, or whatever. Fucked up that Andrew Ryan keeps turning people into Big Daddies, but I mean, yeah, every Big Daddy was a human. And Tenenbaum, the reason why she's there is that she's hoping to, like, turn Porter back to a human, like, you know, get him back to a human state. And I guess she does, based off the end of this game, where the game ends, and how he goes to Pearl's grave and, like, leaves that letter. I'm assuming it's trying to say that Tenenbaum did do that, just like she brought the little sisters back to normal, you know, like that. So I found it interesting. So I guess that does fit that Tenenbaum has her hand in everything like Aizen, you know what I mean? But very cute ending. If there is a Bioshock 1 DLC that I think is worth talking about, I'll attach it to this video. Well, I'm back, as promised. I'm going to talk about the 2 DLCs of Bioshock. Technically, there's 3. The third one I wasn't interested. It was like protect the little sister from a bunch of trials, and then the other DLC in Bioshock 2 was like trials as well. Ignored both of those, but these other two DLC, kind of like additional gameplay, was pretty interesting. They're challenges. I'm gonna talk about them both one at a time. The video will probably speed through run what I played because a lot of time I got lost, and it was the first one. Not very simple, but like, you know, there were hints and clues about what to do. The second one took me a little bit longer, but I got there. So the first one is called A Shocking Turn of Events. This little sister is stuck at the top of the Ferris wheel, and you basically, as a father, have to save her. It kind of was giving me, no, the next one's giving me that. But this one, like, basically, you have no plasmids, you have no guns. Eventually you do get that stuff, but you start out with none of it. The first thing that threw me off was you have to get to this door, and on the other side is a body chamber, a shotgun, and some something else. I think maybe some bullets. And I was trying everything. I tried all these doors. Nothing was working. And then there was this electric lever back in the beginning of the game where you pull it, you know, you shock yourself. So I was like, okay, I'm taking damage, so that's not it. But I've looked around everywhere. I've checked everything. So I was like, what else is there to do? Obviously, you know, being a Bioshock fan, a Bioshock player for all these years, I should have known if you die, you end up right back in the body chamber. I don't know why I was scared to die or like see what would happen. But yeah, you basically have to kill yourself. That's the first task. And then after you do that, you end up on the other side of the shotgun and the barrel gun, stuff like that. And you can take the elevator down, or you can use the electrobolt power to take the elevator down. Oh, no, it's electric. Yeah, because if you had electrobolt, it'd be too easy. So you have these weapons and guns that can fire off one electrical shot per round, and you need 6 of them to activate the Ferris wheel to get the little sister down. So the first one's a gimme. You know, it gives you like two shotgun bolts to shoot like this electrical wheel, and you know it like acts as one lever. But the next 5, you have to search around. One of them is electric flesh. Obviously, you know, you get that, somebody hits you, it sends off a shockwave. Now, there's not a bunch of enemies there that can hit you, but yes, you get electric flesh by going to the second floor. The elevator goes from the third floor to the first floor. You have to activate the elevator, get on the top of it, and then jump off on the second floor to get to the electric flesh. Again, just stuff I didn't know without looking up stuff, because I was like, how do I get to this thing and that? But I really did love it. The challenges are great. There is more. It's not limited to. It probably is limited, but like, you don't need to get every single electric item to activate the Ferris wheel. You just need 6 of them, and then you can say the little sister. But there are, as I can say this, you can waste a lot of ammo and things like that, and probably get locked out of saving the little sister. I'm sure, because I finished it before getting all the other opportunities to like save the little sister. But I did waste some ammo here and there because I wasn't sure what to do. But overall, I did like it. I thought it was a really interesting challenge. A shocking turn of events. And saving little sister, you know, obviously completes the game. There are roses scattered throughout in both of these Bioshock trials. I don't know what the roses do. It says it is optional to find them. I only found 3. So obviously, like, you know, if you want to get all the roses, you got to like explore all around. And don't activate the last lever till you find all the roses, obviously. But it was still a cool trial. Or a cool challenge.
He's an intruder.
Okay.
What? Nobody touches me! Nobody! Fine, I'll chase you then!
Bubbles, the bubbles and sunshine, bubbles and rain.
The second challenge I did was called the I in Team. You have to fight a Big Daddy and save a little sister without any weapons or without any plasmas that can fight him. So basically, you start out with, again, no weapons. And this one kind of reminds me of the father in Bioshock 2 that was trying to save his little daughter, Mindy, who got turned into a little sister after she was kidnapped by Sophia Lamb. And he went to Rapture, and he got turned into a Big Daddy. Again, if you see my Bioshock 2 review or listen to any of the audio tapes, you already know that whole story about the father chasing his daughter down that was captured by Big Sister and Big Daddy and Sophia Lamb and all that. And that was very powerful. That's one of the reasons I like Bioshock 2. But this kind of gave me that vibe. Like, you have to fight a Big Daddy, but you're a human, and you have to, like, save your daughter. They kind of gave me that. And so, basically, this one was a little bit more harder to understand. I mean, I knew something. Some of the things I figured out pretty fast. But once I got the power target dummy, I thought, like, you know, I had to, like, basically make these rockets, like, miss me or, like, dodge them. And I was like, okay, this is too hard. Because I was like, I'm obviously going to take damage. Or I have to wait for them to pause. But, like, the pause is too short. And you'll probably see me dying a lot here. Because I was like, I figured some things out, but I couldn't figure out everything. And it turns out you had to use target dummy to make the rockets hit the machine gun turrets hitting you to destroy them. Now, the turrets aren't going to stop hitting you. The turrets will keep shooting at you. But you can use a target dummy to make them target the other things. And then, or target the other turrets aiming at you. And then after that, you can access this door where you get the ice power. And you basically have to use target him again to freeze the Big Daddy in place and jump over him to get like a hacking tool. And you can go back and hack that item or hack what's activating the turrets to release the Big Daddy to go in there. And then the freezing powers to freeze the Big Daddy so the turrets will hit him over and over again every time and target dummy. It was very interesting. This challenge I liked more than the shocking turn of events of Ferris one. I thought the Ferris one was creative. This one I just liked a lot more. Again, I'm kind of summing it up because which one am I talking about? The I and Team can be completed in 3 minutes if you know what you're doing. I found that on the YouTube video. The YouTube video is the one that showed me that's what the target dummy ability was for, not for like trying to bypass the turrets. Which made more sense as I realized what I was supposed to do and how it was working. But yeah, I liked it better than a Shock Eternal event. But both great DLC or additional content if you play Bioshock or are a fan. I definitely recommend them. And see how fast you can complete them. I mean, now that I know what to do, I would definitely go back and complete them and see how fast I can complete them in. But anyways, that's all for this video. I'll see you guys next one. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Thanks, Mr. Bubbles. Bubbles and sunshine, bubbles and rain.
But if not, this will just be my Nervous Den review. Very great. If you played Bioshock 1 or 2, I recommend playing this. It's a great DLC. Very short, very personal, very cute. But explore everywhere. If you don't want to miss anything, you don't miss your upgrades, explore everything. Anyways, that's all for this review. I'll see you guys in the next one. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.
The Thinker never gave up on you, Mr. Porter. It could not leave you behind. Please, step up to the console and begin the bathysphere launch sequence. We have much work ahead of us.
I lived through the Blitz, Pearl, and the fall of Rapture. They took my memory, my voice, everything that made me a man, but nothing ever scared me so much as saying goodbye. I wanted to save you. I couldn't resist trying to bring you back the only way I knew how. But you didn't want that. I know it now, and I think I'm finally ready to let you go your way. I stand here with the sun on my face, and it's almost like I can feel you smiling. Goodbye, Pearl. I love you more than I've got words for. Milton.
Hey guys, this video was sponsored by me, the author of the Shinry series, the Chronicles of Wayne, and Monsterverse. So I figured I'd do this outro a little bit different by showing you guys what you guys would be checking out. So, the Shinry series starts with Book 1, Shobu Samurai Project Aryoku. 10 years after the death of his parents, Shobu Samurai returns home seeking vengeance, but instead faces a choice to save his home from shadow creatures, blood beasts, and an organization once thought dead. Shinry's Shobu Samurai starts at $9.99. And if you love anime, manga, Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho, Fairy Tail, Shaman King, Rave Master, Zatch Bell, anything like that, the Shinry series is definitely the series for you. You'll definitely want to check it out. The Sword of Light is probably the thickest one so far. And then these books are 2. This is Enter the Dread Zone Tournament. And the series original ending, Arado, the Legendary Konjuis Master. So, and I'll just show you guys some of the covers. Really proud of all of these. But I hope you guys check it out. If you don't like that, I also have the current published books for the Chronicles of Wayne, Love Be Damned, Cotton Candy, Full Moons, Fabled Lovers, A Cursed Virgin's Bite. If You Go Where Monsters Dance, Red will Rain Over Your House. Love Be Damned. Now, the Chronicles of Wayne is about a geeky guy, or a nerdy guy in high school. His senior year, he has a crush on the hottest guy in school, because of course he does. He's only got one best friend, and her name is Barb. Well, the hottest guy in school turns out to be a werewolf. And to make the story more interesting, he bites Wayne and turns Wayne into the first ever wolfman in the last 10 years. And because of that, it was also a sacred law that wolfmen should never be created. I don't want to get into too much of the Chronicles of Wayne without spoiling it, but I can tell you it's very short. This one sells for $6.99, and Love Be Caged right after it. The ending of this trilogy, Love Be Liberated, comes out in October. So I'm going to definitely do a more full in-depth review of this one. But yeah, it's an LGBT fantasy fiction story about werewolves, vampires, white witches, a dark warlock, and, well, many, many more surprises to come. So if you guys like to read, I definitely recommend. These are all the books so far in the Shinry series, except for Shinry's Beginning. I do have that one, but it's just not here with me. But yeah, I appreciate a like, support, or just a review on Amazon. Either way, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great day.